Hello there, my friend. I was hoping you'd stop by. Grab your favorite beverage and a cozy blanket. It's time again for Conversations with Indie Authors.
Welcome to the show, Clarissa Castillo. I'm sorry, Clarissa Castillo Ramsey.
Yes, it's a mouthful.
So tell us a little bit about what you do. I'm friends with you on Facebook, so I see all of your painting videos and your podcast, and you have a lot going on. You're pretty amazing woman.
Oh,
So
thank
share
you.
a little bit about what you're passionate about.
Yeah, so I describe myself as a multi-passionate creative entrepreneur. And like you said, I'm an artist, I'm a podcaster, I'm an organizational psychologist by education, and I'm a transformational coach for creatives who want to eventually leave their day job and move on to something else. So I help them figure out that next chapter.
Nice. So how do you do that? Like, do you have classes or you do workshops or?
Yes, all of the above. I have workshops. I coach one-on-one, and I have a group program. So that's how I connect with people. I also love doing online events to help, and those are free. Mostly those are free events that just help people create their roadmap to become their own boss, or just to figure out what they want to do next.
Awesome. What is your podcast about?
It's called Painting Your Path, which is also the title of a book that I published. And it really is focused on helping midlife creatives create life on their terms. So pretty much everything that I do, I'm just super passionate about helping people figure out, like, if they're not happy with what they're currently doing, let's talk about it. Let's flesh it out. And I take people through a 5-step process to help them work through that.
So Painting Your Path is your book, and that's actually what is.
Oh, you know what? This is my transcriber, this otter.
Okay.
Wyatt likes to pop in to everybody else's meetings except for the ones I'm hosting.
That's funny. Okay. So your book is actually how we met, was Painting Your Path. Can you tell me about that book?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for asking. So I have to also say this so I was in the corporate space for almost 30 years, and I'm just going to say 3 to 7 years, I would pivot into another iteration, a new career. And around 2018, 2019, I was going through that process again. But that time, I always had a long-term vision to work for myself. And around that time, 2018, 2019, I thought, okay, when are you going to do this, Clarissa? You keep talking about eventually working for yourself, but you keep pushing out the timeline. So the book, Painting Your Path, was a way to help me just navigate through all those crazy emotions I was having about taking that leap into creative entrepreneurship. So I interviewed 21 amazing and inspiring women who have, in essence, painted their path to do what they've always dreamed of doing. And with that, I created an art piece as my thank you for their interview. And that was what the book was all about, just to really help me work through my next phase.
Well, it must have helped you a lot because you made it into a book to share with everyone else.
Yes, thank you so much. And I wasn't going to share my story because I was so petrified terrified that somebody from my work would read it and then they would know that I wanted to leave. But I finally got over myself and added my story at the end. And I also came up and I also thought about like, okay, well, how have I been able to, up until then, always manifest the dreams and the goals that I've had? So that's also how my Painting Your Path framework came about.
That's beautiful. So you started this project really for you personally, and
I
it just
did.
turned out so well that you're sharing it with everyone else. That's amazing. Well, can I ask you what made you want to self-publish?
I did not want to deal with looking for an agent or trying to find a publisher or trying to go that route. I just thought as a new author, I just thought it would take too long. And so I just for me wanted the quickest way to do it, which was through self-publication.
That makes sense. And you have more control with,
Yes.
getting to, well, design everything.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's
already,
right.
it's kind of hard to give that up. The design element.
100%. Oh, for sure.
So, well, what do you think is the biggest challenging with self-publishing your book?
I think people can just get intimidated by the whole process. And I don't know what publishing company or how you did yours, but I just decided to go through Amazon, through KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, because to me that just seemed like the easiest way. And I think for anybody who's starting, they can look into that as just an idea. You don't have to do it, but I know how challenging just the idea of self-publishing can be. But I think if you just like Google how to do it or YouTube how to do it through that platform, you'll see it's not as hard as you might be making it.
Kind of like switching careers and painting your own path.
Right, exactly. I think sometimes we just get so caught up in how am I going to make this happen? It can just shut us down, and that can be a challenge in and of itself. But I'm just here to share that it was super easy. And I'm not saying it's the best platform, but if you're just looking for an easy way to get started, why not? Check it out.
Yeah, yeah. So, where can we find you online if we want someone to help us get out of the corporate world and create our own?
Oh my gosh, thanks. So you can always tune into my podcast, Painting Your Path, as a free resource. And I love to offer people coffee chats. There's no cost to that. So if you just want to kind of spitball like what you're thinking about, I always welcome that as well.
Okay. Is that a Zoom call or is that
Yeah, it could be a Zoom call, or if you're like have Zoom fatigue, we can always just talk on the phone, old school.
I love that. Do you have any more books coming out? And do you have any other published books?
I actually published a journal in, I think it was 2021, to accompany my book, Painting Your Path. And it's just the Painting Your Path writing journal, where I give people different prompts. I take them through my 5-step framework and just give you some food for thought if you're the type of person who likes to journal everything out. So I also have that on Amazon.
That's awesome. So if there was someone right now that's in their corporate world and they really they have this beautiful idea and they just know it's going to be something big, what would you advise them right now?
Oh my gosh, I would say give yourself the opportunity to dream more, dream big about this idea. I don't know about you, Brittany, but I think so many adults lose that, I don't want to say ability, but they don't exercise their imagination muscle like we did when we were kids. And there's so much power in imagination. It's a powerful manifestation tool. So I would say to anybody who's in corporate that is entertaining the thought of leaving and starting your own thing, or even if it's a passion project, give yourself that space to really dream about it, journal about it, write about it, and don't limit yourself, don't screen yourself, and really play full out and use your five senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What can you touch? And who's with you? And just start there. And from that, you can connect with other people who are doing something similar to what you want to do. And just notice, I'm not saying copy, but just pay attention to who else is out there that can be of inspiration to you. So I would say to start there.
Okay. I think the biggest hurdle is probably finances, because why am I going to give up this, steady paycheck for with a nice dream?
Yes. Yeah, that is a great question and concern. And so what I tell my clients and what I do with them is plan it out. You don't need to quit tomorrow, but you do need to make a plan. And the best advice that I can give to that is to, if this dream is really important to you, where there's a will, there's always a way. So I tell everybody, start stashing cash, start putting away money, so that you can transition without that stress and overwhelm, because that's also unnecessary. So what can you do today to put some money aside? What can you do today to test out your idea and attempt to monetize? Just have fun. There's nothing at stake. If you're still in your day job, you still have that. So let that be your investor for your future.
There you go. That's smart.
Yeah.
It's a tough transition. So I know another problem. Well, I know a problem I have is I try to take everything on myself. I'm like, I can do it.
Right? Yes. Oh my gosh. I hear you. And I did that too at the very beginning. I just was like, I'll just do it all.
Yeah, it's fine. I can design every tiny little thing and I'll edit everything.
Gosh.
So do you get a virtual assistant or
Yeah. And I did that pretty straight away. And again, if you have a day job, you have that resource to help. Let your day job be that resource for you to help you in the transition. And there's also so many platforms where you can find help that isn't going to cost an arm and a leg. You can use Fiverr.com or Upwork. You can, like my virtual assistant, I absolutely love her. She's still with me after 2 years, 3 years, and she lives in the Philippines. So if you can connect with somebody overseas, we're in the States. So I know that the hourly rate here is a lot higher, but if you can work with somebody overseas, that might be a lot easier on your pocketbook, and you're still going to get quality attention.
And it helps them a lot too.
And it helps them a ton. Absolutely.
They're building 100%. Their own. They're doing
Yes, it's a win-win-win. And I'll share it real quick. My assistant, Jenny, I have to give her so much credit. We were both kind of beginning at the same time. Nice. And she was willing to learn, learn all the things, ClickFunnels, Canva, ActiveCampaign, all the email stuff. And it's been a great journey together.
Nice. Yeah, Fiverr I think is one of my biggest resources.
Yes.
For really well, speaking of, I've been seeing tons of articles and videos out in the last few days. Amazon KDP, which you were talking about, they just changed things, and now you have to say whether or not something was AI generated or AI assisted, but they are making a differentiation between that. So we were talking about virtual assistants. So do you use Chat GPT for like, or AI?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I use Chat GPT as just as a starting point, because I think, like, whether it's writing a book or writing a blog post or doing a social media post, I think the hardest, or an email marketing campaign, I think the hardest thing is like getting started sometimes. So I just use it as a starting point. It definitely does not have like all the words that I use and the phrases that I say. So I say, let it be a partner to what you're doing, but you still want to infuse your personality and make it your own.
I totally agree. I almost rewrite the whole thing. I'm like, here's what I'm trying to do. Can you help me? Okay.
Yes.
Write it anyways.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, can we make the sound
Yeah, like I
like
don't
different? Right. I'm not in love with what I just wrote, but can you make this a little bit better? Or what would you add? And so I love what pops out, but then you get to tweak it from there.
there is writers.work. I don't know if you've gone on there. People
Oh, I
use
have not.
Grammarly. It's a free resource and it's only on the web, and you can go in there and it'll tell you your sentence structure. Nope, that's wrong, or
Oh
highlight
my
everything.
gosh, how cool.
It's super friendly, and like,
Oh,
yeah, I like
nice.
that one. I like it better than Grammarly.
Oh,
But
sweet.
yeah, resources, they're always awesome. So, oh, well, speaking of resources, what resources do you have to offer people that are in this transition period?
Oh my gosh. So I have a resource for anybody who says, I don't have time to work on my business or my project. I have 20 time hacks that work.
Ooh.
So I am happy to share that with the audience. And I also have a free resource that I call the Painting Your Path guide. I forget what I call it exactly, like guideline. So it's different prompts and just different things to think about as you plan your transition, just to help. It's kind of like a mini version of the journal, but just to help, like, with a quick start.
Nice. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just, if you've got a dream, a vision to write and publish your book or transition into working for yourself, it's never too late. You're not too old. And just give yourself the opportunity to dream big and know that you're already successful. You have already had success in the past. Leverage that past success as a way to fuel you into the future.
Awesome. That's funny because in 2019, I remember telling people, I'm too old. I'm too old.
Did you? It's
Say
never
that.
too old.
I know. And now I'm
Never.
like, well, I don't care anymore. Whether I'm too old or not, I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah, good for you. Yes. I mean, I finally left corporate like right before my 50th birthday. I
Oh
was
my
like, I cannot be here at 50. So I'm determined to
God, you live in
live.
your 30s.
Yeah, I'm determined to live like the second half of life even better than the first.
That's exactly what I feel. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much. I'm going to you have a profile on Zarlaquan and we will have all your links there. So if people didn't remember or didn't write it down, we will put everything there so everyone can find you. And your book as well is on zarlaquan.com for everyone to purchase through there, or they can go to your site and find it there as well.
Thank you so much, Brittany. This was so fun.
This was fun. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening episode of the Zarlaquan podcast. If you're an indie author with a unique story to share or a self-development leader with insights to inspire, we invite you to be part of our show. Together, let's amplify your voice and create a platform for growth. And to all of you passionate readers and seekers of personal development, don't miss out on the enriching content we offer at Zarlaquan.com. Join the community today to discover self-development resources and be the first to know about our latest updates. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss a beat.